in the industry across the country have collaborated and put together a book. It's in process of publishing, and we're hoping it will be out for availability on Kindle as well as print edition before Christmas. But I'll keep you posted on that. Okay? And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Don. You can introduce our speaker.
Okay.
Let's go.
Well, like some of you, maybe many of you, March of this year, I'm sitting on the couch in my living room watching the Shark Tank when we saw an episode that featured Cowboy Ryan. And while my wife and I were sitting there looking at the show, she nudges me and says, "You need to get to know this guy." And little below, but I know that within 5 months I'll be shaking hands and introducing himself and befriending him. So Cowboy Ryan has become a really good friend and a mentor and has helped me out tremendously with what I'm doing. But I'm going to just let him tell you where he, from here.
Wow, thank you. Just if you guys don't mind, I've got a camera guy. He's gonna set up and just video me. So you guys, if you guys want
You want us to move around anywhere? Tell us what we want.
If you guys want to be in the video, you definitely can. How do you want to?
What scope?
Well, we'll ask you really quick. Is there a certain maybe set the room up or
Hang it from the ceiling
what time is it now? A little after 6:30.
It is 6:43.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's kind of what I needed to know. So I will just kind of give you a quick little background of me, where I come from, and then by the time I get through that, really quick, just would love to just hear a 2-second from each one of you. Like, I've got an invention, or I already have an invention. I'm making money, or I'm licensed an invention, or I'm in search of. So I kind of get an idea, because I do a lot of guest speaking, and so the best way for me to know, like, how can I give you the most valuable stuff is just kind of find out that you guys don't care about how to do more push-ups and things like that. So really quick, invention. You have one, several, what do you got?
I have several.
Okay.
I'm looking to license it.
Okay, looking to license. How about you?
Sorting through ideas stage.
Sorting through ideas, okay. Ma'am, you?
I'm a creative person. I produce paintings.
Paintings, okay. And you have some now that are already created?
Yes.
Okay. And you're looking to sell them?
Sell them.
Sell them, okay. How about you?
I'm a pet product inventor, and I'm in the process of finalizing my prototypes and
Okay.
getting them patented, and then manufacturing and selling them.
Okay. Next?
I'm a service provider for web hosting.
Okay. Awesome.
Patent attorney, service provider.
Okay.
Patent agent.
Patent agent. An agent as in
Patent agent.
Patent agent.
you're a patent. Well, yeah, what is a patent agent?
It's like,
Like,
it's like a
goes to
patent
court for
attorney,
you.
but without having to be an attorney.
I'm not an attorney, but I'm still
He can
able to
write
practice.
patents.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay, okay,
Practice
okay.
patent
Okay.
law.
Do you have
Before
any
this
inventions
video.
yourself?
No.
Not necessarily. Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
Many ideas, but
Okay,
I've
sure,
never done
okay.
anything, yeah.
Yeah, product designer, I'm just service provider.
Okay.
Do designs for people.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's-
So,
that's-
see, it's mechanical.
Mechanical engineer.
Okay.
I have several inventions.
Several inventions. Sold any? Sell any? License any?
Not quite to that point.
Okay.
Okay.
Next.
We have my brother and I, we have a prototype, an idea
Okay.
that we want to patent. It's a martial artist.
For martial art. How long have you done martial arts?
Since 7.
Okay. So you know quite a bit about the sport then, or the what you're doing. That's awesome. Next.
I'm an inventor. I built an electric guitar, which is mobile electric guitar.
Okay.
So you can play without plugging to amplifier. You can play everywhere.
Oh, okay.
every
Cordless.
time. Cordless, yes.
And where are you at with your invention?
Actually, I apply for a patent, like design patent pending.
Okay. Design patent. Great. And is this your first invention that you're on this journey?
Yes.
Okay. How about you, sir?
I'm doing mosquito research presently in field testing.
Okay. For a product, some kind of invention to, like,
Mosquitoes.
okay, kill them off.
Yeah.
Okay. And would that be something that would be on a house, hooked to the back of a house?
A lot of places.
A lot of places. Okay, is more versatile.
Yeah.
And yours was,
Ideas.
I-
Where do I go from here?
you have invention ideas.
Yes.
Okay, where are you? All right, perfect. This is a good crowd. And you?
Invention ideas too.
Okay.
One in particular I'm working on.
Okay.
Met with an engineer today. For the
Okay.
design.
Awesome. And just a real quick overview of Don when I first met him. And we'll go over everything. I'll spend probably 45 minutes. Don't worry, we'll talk about the Shark Tank journey, and you'll learn as much as you possibly can. And you'll definitely learn some stuff along that journey that I've been on. I was a rodeo guy for 14 years in the pro rodeo circuit, and I thought I was a pretty tough cowboy until I decided to go on the Shark Tank journey. It's a good thing I had that experience of getting bucked around the arena. So it really, really, really prepared me. I'm originally from Colorado. My folks had a ranch in Castle Rock for 100 years. In 1984, just like all of us as inventors and creators, my dad had a dream of being a Montana rancher. So in 1984, he sold the ranch and bought a big ranch in Montana. So then we moved to Montana in 84, and we've been there ever since. So I do a lot of motivational speaking to athletes, to groups, business group last night, you guys tonight, and all the speaking I do, I really get people to understand their why. That is the number one thing. If I can teach you anything at all tonight, and you really get a strong enough why you want to do this, why you want this product to be successful, and why every time you hit that wall or you get a no, and I'm telling you the no's are coming, okay? For those of you just getting started, and how many of you saw Shark Tank and the writer guy, the guy that invented the little thing for his glasses? It was a magnetic thing, and it was just a little magnetic clip that hooked onto his shirt on the back side, and you take your glasses off and you just hang your glasses there, okay?
Yeah.
Boom, that simple, instead of hooking it here. He invented that, but he's had what I call the lottery road. He got so lucky every step of the way, he don't even know how to duplicate it. The camera guy here saw him speaking a couple weeks ago, and he was like, that guy's a miracle. It is literally a miracle how he got there. He stumbled onto it. He designed it. He saw there was a patent. He called the lady. She had the patent. The husband was dead. He bought the patent for a couple $1,000s. Took it on Shark Tank. Ended the story. And before that, he was a couple years homeless, doing drugs, things like that. It's like, whoa, you got to be kidding me. But here's the thing. He had been a creator. He had been an inventor before this one. So he'd been down the road. So he put a lot of hard work into it. And so I take a look at what he did. I'm like, I'm kind of jealous that he's just, boom, home run. Yeah, it seemed like he got a home run, but he had been on the road for 20 or 30 years trying to figure it out. And I always tell people, the most important thing, whatever you're doing, you don't know when the door of opportunity is going to open. You don't know that. Could be tonight, could be tomorrow, could be next week, could be 10 years from now. I've been on this invention road since I was, funny story, since I was 18 years old. Guy, if you saw Shark Tank, you saw I got a lot of energy. So a guy straight out of high school, 18 years old, a lot of energy. I didn't have any more sports to play, so I got on my motorcycle and outrun the cops with my motorcycle. And I learned you don't want to do that. That is the worst thing you could ever do is outrun a cop. Spent 11 days in jail, okay, just sitting there. And I had nothing to do. And that's when I realized at 18 years old, I was really creative. So I come up with a couple of inventions, but didn't know what to do with it. So like most people, you just kind of give up. And then a few years later, you see it out on the shelves. And like ketchup bottles or anything that has the little peel, the tinfoil thing that you got to peel off. I designed the, here it was, and I designed that. To where this little thing, you just grab it and pull, okay? If at that moment I would have known, well, this is a product that I'm not going to go into manufacturing of, and I'm not going to go to trade shows, I'm not going to build a website. I'll get a patent on it, and I will find every single company, not necessarily the ketchup company, and that's what you got to think. In your mind, whatever your product is, you first got to establish. Like with Don, for instance, he's got a ladder and he has this device that goes on the bottom of the ladder you can just hook on, so when you're on the second story of a roof, the ladder don't kick out from underneath you. So I asked him tonight, I said, who is your person? Who's the ideal people that are going to buy? He said the ideal person is not going to be the guy at Lowe's, not going to be the guy at Walmart. It's going to be the contractor. That he has 15 or 20 ladders and he has all these guys that are using the ladder, and he's like, guys, you need to have this because my insurance rates, I can't afford any more accidents. You guys need it. I said, Don, who else? And he goes, and he done his homework. He prepared, and this is what I'm saying. You never know when the door is going to open for you. Just like this guy that made the sunglass holder. He had prepared forever, and then he gets up there, and he was there. He was like, no, he didn't. But the door finally had opened, and he had tried something that Grand Slam home run. They sold, within the first year of being on Shark Tank, they sold $4 million worth of it on QVC. Yeah, we're talking a guy that was literally pretty much just giving up and homeless, and well, everything I've ever tried didn't work. But all the time that he put into thinking creative, finally one day that door opened. So as I take you along my journey, I'll tell you what I learned from 18 years old. I'm 41 years old now. Thank you. I know I look like I'm 29. You were going to say it. Okay, I just threw that out there. Nah, just kidding. So prepare, prepare, prepare. The most important thing, what you've got to learn right now tonight, why do you want to do this? Because I'm telling you, the 14 years of riding wild bucking horses, and then, besides doing that, I was the guy in the arena that when the bull rider was riding, I was like, okay, when the bull rider gets bucked out, now you chase me, okay, with your big horns, and so the bull rider can get away. I did that job as well. That job was easy. Riding bucking horses was easy. Being an inventor is got to be the hardest thing I have ever tried to accomplish in my life. But I think, and same with me, when I first come up with this idea, I go, boom, there it is, I'm going to be a millionaire, I'm done. And then you hear the story, the pet rock. I don't believe the story. I really don't believe a guy invented a pet rock and become a millionaire. People at a convention like this just come up with the pet rock story to give people hope that, oh, you can come up with a simple idea. Okay? I don't believe in it, but it doesn't matter what I believe. But what I learned along my road as an inventor, if you plan in your mind, this road is going to be hard, and I'm going to get a no, a no, a no, you're an idiot, that won't work, take to your regular job, be a school teacher, no, no, no. If you already plan in your head, this is going to be the hardest thing I've ever done, then you won't give up easy. Then you won't hardly ever give up at all. I used to be the president of the Montana Inventors Association years ago, and it was the coolest thing in the world. I was like 20 years old, and me and my buddy, we were at college, and we'd come up with this invention, okay? In college, in the dorm, they have a little tiny refrigerator, but there's no freezer. So I'm like, hey, you know, I can't freeze ice, so my Coke will be cold. So I said, okay, I need to think of something creative. And I said, okay, when I was in jail for those 11 days, what did I learn? I learned the most important thing. And what you got to realize here, how many do we have here? 15? Maybe? 18? What's the population in Denver? A couple million, maybe? Somewhere? It doesn't matter. There's a handful of you who are really creative. In fact, everybody's creative. But there's a handful of you that said, you know, I could be at home watching reruns of 12 hours of reality TV shows, but I choose not to. I choose to say, you know what? I believe in what I'm doing. I'm not getting paid to do this yet, but I will get paid someday. But I'm here on this journey, and I want you to repeat it after me. Say, I will figure this out.
I will figure this out.
Yeah, say it one more time, but like you mean it. Say, I will figure this out. I will figure this out. There you go. Give yourself a hand. Good. Good. all about the psychology. I've met this journey here. I'm telling you, I have had every opportunity, great excuses to go, yep, it's done. Wouldn't work. I give up. And I'm telling you, whatever you're working on, it was given to you as a gift. It was given to you for a reason. And you got to say, how bad do I really want this? Because I'm convinced the universe goes, no. You got to prove to me you give up sleep, you'll give up food, you'll give up your time, you'll give up every dime you have to your name to make this work. And when you go at it relentless and you go at it with an open mind that it's not, I'm telling you right now, and hopefully some of you aren't, oh, it's crushing news, I give up. This is not a one-road solution. The road to being successful with inventions, it's like a freeway. It has so many exits. The off-ramp and going, whoa, okay, that's how to get that invention to market. Whoa, that's how to get that one to market. And some of them you get to a point to where you go, there's no exit ramp. The exit ramp is where you take it to a company like this, you license it, and the big dream, you sit home and the royalty checks come in and just this dream life, okay? There's some products out there, and some products you go, there is one person on this planet that believes in this so much, there's no off-ramp. I've tried every manufacturer, I've tried every distributor, I've tried every company that would be ideal for this product, and they said no, they said no, they said no, they said no. And you go, well, I've got two options. I give up on it and I go on to the next one, and there is a time when you finally just got to say, I never say give up on it. There's a time to say, you know what, let me put it on the shelf. I'll come back to it. And then you go, universe, I'm coming back to that, okay? And when I come back to it, I'm going to figure it out. There's some products that you realize the only way to make it work, you got to build it yourself. You got to sell it yourself. You got to distribute it yourself. And that's when it comes down to enough reasons why. So along my journey, I'm in college, my soda gets warm, I'm like, I need ice, and it just hit me. Most important, when I designed this thing, I realized I was creative. Once you become aware that you're creative, then you got to say, how many more things can I think of? Me and my buddy used to play this game, and we would go to Walmart, and we'd like, okay, we got 5 minutes, okay? We'd both grab a shopping cart, and we're like, let's see who can come up with the most new, deep, creative products. Go! And I'd go my way, and he'd go his way, and then 5 minutes later, we would get together, and we'd compare shopping carts, and we'd pull up, we'd combine a couple products, and go, look at this new product I got, and look at this new product I got, and look at this new product. And it was a contest to see who could come up with the most creative ideas. It was just a game we played, but it was conditioning our mind for the road ahead. So as an inventor, you don't get stuck on one invention, and for the next 60 years, that's all you do. That's all that you pursue is that one invention. You got to go, you know what? The Thomas Edison, 10,000 times to design the light bulb. He didn't work just on the light bulb, and then 20 years later, oh, I invented it. He probably had a light bulb and 50,000 other things he was working on. But then he would come back and go, okay, here's a light bulb again. And what is the missing piece? And you've got to realize you've got to keep the creative juices going, because I know what it's like to get hung up on one product going, I can't make a breakthrough. I don't know who to take it to. I don't know who's going to buy it. I don't know how to sell it. And all of a sudden, you just stop thinking creative. And people laughed at me all the time going, Cowboy, I've got a question. Do you just get bucked off on your head too many times? And you just sit around at night thinking of these creative things? And I say, no, actually it's a curse. Like, these silly things come in my head, and it's frustrating. I can't shut it off. And I'm like, no, stop. I'm like, stop. And finally, I grabbed a notebook. And I said, I've got to accept the gifts that are coming to me. So I got a notebook, and I would just jot it down. Okay, And I'll think as many ways as creative as I can on that one, going, how could I get it? Who would be interested? What would be the right company? Who would I contact? How would it work? And then I go to the next page. Because along your inventor's journey, I may meet the right person for this product. I may meet the right designer for this product. I may meet the right martial arts guy going, you know, I kind of come up with this idea, but I met a lady a couple of nights ago at this business speaking. I have several fitness companies, several infomercial companies right now going, Ryan, you're the pitch guy, you've got the energy, that's what sells fitness products. Bring us your product. Bring us your ideas, and if it's the right product and we put your insane enthusiasm and energy behind it, it's a given it'll be successful. So this lady the other night that I met, speaking engagement you set up, she goes, I have this miniature Pilates machine. Really? And I've got the utility patent. Really? And I've been working on it for a really long time. Really? Where you at? Well, got our website up, can't seem to sell it, don't know what to do with it. I've got a few YouTube videos. I'm like, really? How long have you been working on it? For a long time. And I said, what do you want to do with it? I go, do you want to build it yourself and sell it to the stores? She goes, no, I'm ready to move on. I want to license it and go on to something else and live my life, come up with some new ideas. And I said, okay. Well, I'm looking for the fitness products that I can take to these companies and say, guys, we've got the energy. Now we've got a new product. We know Pilates works. We know the Pilates machine works. Problem with the big normal Pilates machine, they're really, really, really expensive. I said, what would it sell for? Oh, around $149. Boom, I know enough about doing infomercials. That's an ideal price point. So I let her know. I said, look, I'm not making any promises, but I left it in her court. I said, don't give me your business card. I said, if you're hungry enough, if you've been on this journey long enough, and you really, 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 really want this to be successful, you'll get a hold of me. Because I work 20-hour days and I have so many different things that I am working on. It's not my main focus. And I said, it's going to be your baby. So if you bring it to me and until it's licensed, and now it's out of your hands, you've got to push it and push it and push it. And me, as an inventor, I always had this fairy tale vision from 18 to 41 going, all right, one day I'm just going to find the right company, run into a guy at a bank in line, and he's going to go, I want your product, here, give it to me, and I'm going to license your patent. I'm not saying it has not happened. I'm just saying, as the president of the Montana Inventors Association, as seeing 100 inventors, we have a big convention, 100 inventors every year would come together for this convention. I was 20 and my buddy was 21 at the same time. We were in charge of this thing. They sworn us in because there was some new energy into the program. And the closest guy to me in age was 65 years old. Yeah, and they drug in all of these products that they've been working on since they started working when they were 20. And it was like one of the first times they'd ever showed it to anybody. And I'm like, guys, you don't understand. If you don't get it out there, if you're not afraid to take a chance, if you don't just say, I'm going to make this happen, no one's going to show up at your door and go, hello, I'm here, I've got it, I'm ready to sign it. I've done licensing deals, and I tell you what, for me, the real work began once I licensed it, and I said, guys, get it going. What are we waiting for? Because you got to keep in mind, for the most part, most of the time, unless your product, you guys are familiar with the George Foreman grill?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. I met the inventor of the grill. I challenged him to a boxing match. It's a good thing it wasn't George Foreman, okay? He didn't invent it. I found out the whole story. This guy invented it, designed it, shot video, he pitched it, he went to all the big companies. All the big companies in the kitchen, they were not interested in it. And he finally went to the last company, one of the smallest companies. In fact, a company that was about ready to close their doors. And a company named Sultan. And they looked at it and said, whoa, we could either really go big on this deal, or we could totally close our doors. And they said, well, we're about ready to close our doors anyways. We can't get any of the market share. And they said, let's try it. So they tried it, but then they said, we need a pitch person. We need someone that's got a name. We need some energy, and we need a story behind it. And they took it to George's manager, and George's manager said, George wanted me interested in that. And they said, well, just at least let him get it. Got it in his hands. George tried it. Turns out George loves barbecuing. So he goes, yeah, I love this thing. Then they put it'll knock out the fat. 4 or 5, I don't know what the time frame was. It got to a point with that machine. They did the math and they said, you know what? It'd be cheaper if we buy George's name for $120 million. And the guy that invented it, give George $120 million just for his name, and then we never have to give a royalty again. Because of his name. That's how big it was. But think about this, and think about your invention, or the idea that you may have it going on in your head. It was given to you for a reason. Let me scare you. The idea that you got in your head, or the product that you're working on, I'm convinced there's at least 1,000 other people right here tonight that are working on the same thing. And there's about 100 people who've actually built the thing. And there's about 10 people out there that are doing just like you, going, I'm going to get it out there. So if you give up because the road got hard and the money was gone, you're like, I can't keep going, man, are you kidding me? Someone will come out with it. How do I know? Because it happened to me. Happened on this deal. Then I invented this ice cup, okay? Just like that. I know you're like, hey, it looks like a beer mug. Okay. I put a cup inside of a cup. This outside part, you put liquid in it. It's capped off. It's sealed. You put this in the freezer. This freezes, and then you pour whatever you want in it. You don't need the ice that's going to melt. And you guys will go ahead and say it. Say, yeah, I've got one. I've seen one. I've seen it at Coors Field or whatever. I was at a trade show and it was a whatever. I took this invention when I first become an inventor. So excited about it. I built a couple of them in my dorm room. I tested it. Then I started showing my buddies. And they're like, oh, man, here we go again, Cowboy. Man, you're an idiot. That's stupid. That is so stupid. That won't work. It's called ice. Have you ever heard of ice? I'm like, yeah. Have you ever heard of the ice melting? So I got in this debate. So finally I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take it and I'm going to show this to the most looked up to person that I look up to. I value their opinion more than anything. I showed my dad, and my dad looks at it and he goes, oh, you can put beer in it? I'm like, well, yeah, of course you can, whatever you want to put in it. My dad goes, that's the stupidest thing in the world. I've never seen anything so stupid. And I don't know if it was a tactic my freshman year for him to get me to finish college, but he said, don't do it. Just give up. That's dumb. Finish college, get your degree, and go on and be a school teacher. I'm like, Dad knows best, so I quit. 2 years later, guess what's in Walmart? 2 years later, guess what's in Walmart? But this is what happened. Before I gave up, I said, I'm going to give it one last shot. And I got a hold of one of those you see on TV, the Inventor Helpline. Give us a call on the guy's little chisel thing. Send it to us and we'll help you. I sent it to him, had to fill out all this paperwork. What I did not know is during the information to fill it out, they want to know everything about me. Oh, college student? Oh, I don't have a job. Oh, I don't make any money. Oh, and they're going, oh, really? Oh, no kidding. Okay. And I sent it to them, and they called me back and said, oh, man, this is awesome. This is a great product, great invention. We're going to take it to the world's largest trade fair, and we've got distributors and reps and this and that. We're going to take it there, and we're going to rep your company. And, man, we really feel this has got some good value. So I went back to my dad and said, I need $2,200 because that's what they want. My dad goes, are you kidding me? It's dumb. Forget it. So I dropped it, told them I couldn't do it, and they gave me the, oh, don't worry, your idea is safe with us. That's where it came from. Yeah. It was folks, it was the exact same design. No doubt about it. There was nothing exactly to the T. So here I am, 19, 20, 22 years later, just for fun, when I was getting ready to apply for Shark Tank with this one, I said, I'm going to just go and do some research and see possibly what I missed out on. Kind of wishing I did not do that. I found out worldwide the sales on that is over $1 billion. No, not billion. Over $1 billion, folks. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. So when this happened, right here, when this happened, and I saw it in Walmart a couple years later, right here, this got tough. I took this to a level that I never been. And I said, I don't care who comes to me. I don't care who I talk to. I don't care if Jesus himself comes to me and says, Ryan, that's a dumb idea. I'm going to say, well, that's your opinion, but your opinion does not reflect my future. I am moving forward the next idea I come up with. So then, but I had to convince myself. I said, whoa, I'm creative. Whoa, I'm really creative. That's all that matters. The level that we're at, we're always looking at other companies that are making this money. We're always looking at other inventors, and we're telling ourselves, I don't know if I'm that creative, or this guy's making more money. You know what? The money don't matter. What you've got to understand tonight, you're just as creative, or you're more creative than Steve Jobs. You're more talented than Bill Gates. Once you get that mentality and you say, the resources are in me. Say the resources.
The resources.
No, everyone say the resources.
The resources
are in me.
Are in me.
Step up. Step in the resources and say, right now, I am going to do whatever it takes to make it happen. So the next idea I come up with, I'm on campus, slipped on the ice, fell on my back, looked like an idiot, especially I'm a single guy in front of the girls. I'm like, this is no good. So I go, I've got an idea. And I told my buddies, I said, guys, I'm going to design something for my shoes so I don't slip. And they gave me the look like, oh, here we go again, another one of your stupid ideas. And that was my test. And they said, why don't you just not wear those stupid cowboy boots? Why don't you wear tennis shoes like everybody else? And I said, it was the new me. And I said, hey, you know what? I don't care what you think. I am going to go build it. So I went to the hardware store and I grabbed all these chains and these bolts and I built something that would go on a pickup truck. And I bolted it to my cowboy boots. And it was the biggest, craziest thing. And if you've ever been in the hardwood store, the chain run big rolls, okay?
Yeah.
And you've got to measure it out and you got to cut it. Well, I didn't know what I wanted, so I had like 3 sets of chains coming up the rolls and they're hooked to my boot. So I looked like the Loch Ness Monster walking up and down the aisle dragging this thing going, hey, this thing kind of works. People working there come and they go, can we help you? No, I think I got it figured out. I built them. They were bolted on. I went back to the dorms and I went to that sheet of ice that I originally fell on and I told my buddies, I said, check this out. And I walked across it and they're like, whoa. And I said, follow me. And they slip and it was kind of an incline. They're slipping and following. And then I said, now check this out. And I took off running. Well, they weren't rated for speed. And they blew apart and I landed on my butt and busted it. And that right there is when I said, I am going to own this product. I will do whatever it takes to make this thing so successful, it'll be stupid. So I built it, and I built it. I'd go to class, and then I would stay up at night building it, and I'd go to class, and I'd stay up at night building it. Then I finally got to a point where I'm making these little brochures, and I knew nothing. I had no mentors except a tragic disappointment, an eye-opener. Going, I am creative as all creative gets, and whatever you're working on right now, keep going. Because everything I've ever accomplished, I've learned this. This is called the 2mm. It may feel like you're 2 miles away from success. It may feel like you're 2 miles away from a breakthrough. It may mean feel like you're 2 miles away of figuring out the change you need or the idea that you need or finding the right person or the distributor or getting whatever piece for your invention. You're only 2 millimeters away. And how do you know you're only 2 millimeters away? Because when you put everything you can put into something and you're exhausted and you're spent and you're just like, I'm just ready to give up. That's when you know 2 more millimeters. Another step. Go forward just a little more. That's the way it was this. That's the way it was with this. If I was smart, I would have gone to 10 of my college friends. Say, hey, tell you what. How about the next weekend, okay? You skip drinking and give me the money that you would use to drink next weekend and party, and we all come together and there's 10 of us and we'll pay the $2,200 to go to this company. You for it? Well, yeah, of course. You're going to give me a piece of your company? Yes, let's do it. I would have got more resourceful. Write that down. If you have a piece of paper, write down, get more resourceful with the resources you already have. Anybody ever heard of Tony Robbins? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
My mentor. I've worked with the guy for 10 years. I followed him. I've been to 4 live seminars. His live business mastery in Fiji, which is 10 grand to be there. I've learned so much from him. And he says, every single time that he goes into a company, every single time he works with a business, the business people always say, guess what? We don't have enough money. We don't have enough investment. We don't have enough capital. And he said, no, you do. What you don't have enough of is getting resourceful with the resources you already have. We're in America. That's the beauty of America. You get more resourceful, you can find it. This, I should have got more resourceful. Everything I've done, if I got more resourceful. So maybe it means I got to give a percentage of my invention up. Right here, 100% of no sales is still no sales. So you've got to think, I don't need the lion's share. Who can I include on this journey that won't be lazy, that I totally need to get it to the next level? You look at almost any product, you look at any company that has been amazingly successful. It started out and the creator was here with 100%. And by the time he got it to the top, and now it's selling hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars, he may only have 5%, but he built such a network and a foundation of people that can get it there. Again, 5% of 5 million, 50 million, 100 million is 5% more than 100% of nothing. And I really learned that when I was the president of this Montana Inventors Association, and I had guys in there and their loving wives, the supporting wives, honey, out in the garage again. They've worked on these inventions for 30 years, never made a dime, and they love to talk about it, but they were always afraid to share anything. And I made the mistake. The mistake I've made in everything I've ever done is share it with somebody that brings nothing to the table. Share it with somebody that doesn't help me in the area that I'm weak at. Getting someone to share it with that has the same strengths as you, now you're being silly. Now you're just giving away, and you've got a buddy that pats in your I call it the cheerleader, the rah-rah. You don't need the rah-rah. You're the rah-rah. You got to share it with somebody, because I learned there's 3 people in business. And I learned that you got to be willing to take a step back and go, okay, to get it to the next level, what do I got to do? Who do I need? To get to the next level, what do I do? What do I need? Because I want to make sales. I think that's the biggest mistake most inventors make. And that's what I saw. They get so narrow-minded. And then the other mistake us inventors make, you put endless hours into that, it's as good as it gets. Can't improve it at all. No. So when I show it to you and you start saying whatever, all of a sudden you're like, you know what, I just put it in my briefcase and feel like I didn't even talk to that guy. This thing here, I built I lost count of how many prototypes I built. Just kind of give you an idea, okay? come up with the idea for my rodeo event, okay? Because in rodeo, the event that I did, the horse is bucking, and as he bucks me backward, I pull my feet up, and then I go back down. And then I pull my feet up, and then I go back down. I had developed insane abs. Rodeo abs. They always want to see the rodeo abs. That's coming, maybe. So I developed insane rodeo abs from my rodeo event. And I worked out all the time, but not from the exercise that I did in the gym. Then I started having back pain, and then I had to quit for 2 years. And then I had all these doctors say, you'll never ride again, never do anything physical. And when I said, I'm going to heal my back, because I'm not believing what these doctors are saying, because along my road, I learned to not give up. Along my road, I learned not to believe other people. 2 years I lived in my camper. Top rodeo rider in the world, and all of a sudden back pain, 2 years in a camper, gave up everything, lost everything, $67,000 in debt. And I finally learned, for this to change, for this situation to change, I had to change. So I put a plan together, and when I put my plan together, I said, the greatest way for me to strengthen my abs was I would then go to the gym and just pull my feet just like this. But it put too much strain on my back because my legs were way out there. And I kept saying, I need something that I can get that motion, but not put that strain on my low back. And that's when I come up with this idea. And the first prototype was so crude, it was insane. Then the second prototype got a little better. Then I finally got this prototype to where it was at a point to where it looked fairly decent. It looked like something maybe you bought in a store. So I had a gym in Colorado. Had 150 clients a day that I personal trained. They would come in my gym, and in one day, 150 people I would train. I brought this in, and I ran all 150 people on it all day long for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. But you know what I didn't tell them? I didn't tell them I invented it. I said, hey, I got a new abs machine. Go ahead and try it out. Because you know what I wanted? I wanted to hear what they had to say, not knowing it was mine. Don't tell me what I want to hear. What I want to hear is cha-ching in my pocket, okay? Tell me what you think of it. Tell me what you feel. Tell me what you notice. Tell me everything. And they would get on it. They would do it a couple times and they, well, this is easy. I'm like, oh, okay, good. It's easy. As I make the infomercial, I'm going, hey folks, this is easy. Anybody can do it. And then about 8-10 seconds, they're like, whoa, oh my God, my lower abs, they're burning. I'm like, they are? They go, I've never felt that in anything I've ever done. That's good to know. I'm glad I'm sampling out this product for this company that I know. And they told me so many different things. Well, what do you like about it? Well, I like the way the seed looks nice and big and wide, and you know, I know I'm overweight, and I instantly look at it going, it'll be stable. It's not going to collapse on me. Oh, that's good to know. And I was getting their input. I didn't send it off to a company and, hey, test it and give me the feedback. I wanted to know everything about it. And once I learned everything about it, and I wrote down all of these changes, I went back to the garage, and I built it again, and then I built it again, and then I built it again. And then I did research on colors for the fitness industry. I put as much as you possibly could into a product, and it was ready to go. I was ready to take it to a company. And I had to say to myself, what road am I going to go on? And I'd been down this road of nothing. I'd been down this road and listened to what other people said, so that didn't work. So those chains that I built for my boots, I worked on it more and more, and pretty soon it consumed my life. But I was so determined to make it work, I stopped going to class. And then pretty soon I failed a couple semesters. Pretty soon they said, don't come back for a while because your grades are horrible. And then, all of a sudden I had it in packaging. I designed the packaging, I did everything. I got in a couple local stores, started selling them to the farmers and ranchers, got them in a couple magazines, and then I went back to school. I said, I am going to finish school. Because what I learned from college, I learned that I have the ability to continue learning. And as an inventor, you got to think to yourself, just like you said, it's great to have a room full of marketers and not just inventors, because, not saying it cannot be done, You can be a Thomas Edison and you just invent something and you license it. You invent something and you license it. But you've got to, even at that, you've got to market at least yourself. You've got to market at least your product. So you want to license your product to a company, you better go in there just going, man, this thing's better than bottled water. This thing's better than sliced bread, and this is why you need it, and this is what it's going to do for your company. If you go in there timid, just go, oh, yeah, well, here it is, and can I get some coffee? And I'm going to go sit down for a while. Remember, they have not put the time into your product. So if you don't think you're a salesman, you got to at least be able to sell your product. So I built those chains, and I sold it. I sold as many people as I possibly could. Pretty soon, I all of a sudden went from the, oh, there's the crazy cowboy to, what? Someone bought one? You've got to be kidding me. My last semester of college, I passed most of my classes because, with C's, but I passed. I passed them all, and the instructors were like, we know what you've been doing. You've been working for years on this one invention, and you won't give up. You developed marketing, you figured out distribution, you built a website, you've got it in stores. We've never had anybody at our university do that. They said, tell you what, I'll give you C- as long as you give me a pair of those chains. I said, done deal. When I graduated, but you got to remember this. For 3 years, as I was selling, okay, and they were doing okay, enough to just kind of help me, pay for rent or whatever. They're doing all right. I kept having a buddy of mine who's a fly fisherman go, Cowboy, how do those chains? Here's the boot, okay, that's a pretty bad boot, and there's these little chains on the bottom, and I got a couple straps like that, and then I got a bungee cord around the back. That's a nice drawing. I got a design patent on that, by the way, folks. I'm excited about that. My buddy kept saying, how do those work for fly fishing on the mossy rocks? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not, you know what I said? I'm not a fly fisherman. So the next year, hey, how's it going? Hey, how do those work on the mossy rocks? I don't know. I'm not a fly fisherman. That was the biggest mistake I'd ever made. Okay? You know why? I was so tunnel vision on this as a traction device for ice. Not in the middle of the summer, not for fly fishing. And I finally said, you know what? I'm tired of him asking me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build in a special pair, and I had to make the chains bigger, and I